Hey, it's David Bayer, and welcome to the training. I am so excited for you for the next 60 some odd minutes because we are going to go deep into the next evolution of personal development. Before we get going, it's probably a good idea if you're planning on meeting someone at the top of the hour to send them a quick text right now. Let them know you might be running a little bit late. If you've got your phone, after that, turn it off. And then we're going to get going. So if you've got a pad and a paper, I'm so excited to talk to you about how to break through the personal development ceiling so that you can create extraordinary results in your business. And that's exactly what we're going to be doing in the next 60 minutes together. Welcome to Mindset 2.0 Master the Inner Game of Business. We're going to be talking about how to break through the personal development ceiling and permanently eliminate the patterns of thinking that are preventing you from making even more money, more impact, and achieving your full potential in your business and life. And this is going to be different than any other training or seminar or program you've gone through around personal development. We're not just going to be talking about how important beliefs are. We're not just going to be talking about how important it is to become self-aware. We've got an entire generation of entrepreneurs now who are aware of what they're thinking but have no idea how to change the patterns of thinking that are holding them back. We're going to be getting into the science of personal development 2.0. The mental technologies that are available now so that you can eliminate that thinking that is preventing you from the next level of income, of impact, of influence, of whatever you really want to create. We're going to be diving deep into that together here. So my goal, I've got a couple of them over the next hour, is to show you that, number one, most entrepreneurs will fail at business because they're addicted to magic pill strategies. I think we all know how important personal development is. If you're here, you understand that mindset is important. But again, because we've hit this personal development ceiling, we kind of go back to becoming addicted to strategies, whether it's Facebook or funnels or webinars or speaking or podcasts or launching a book or whatever it is. We start going round and round and round on this entrepreneur's carousel and ultimately never achieve the success that we want. And the truth is that we need to just reconnect with the next generation of personal growth and mindset. The other thing I'm going to show you is that your brain is a goal-achieving machine. And every single result you are or are not producing in your business right now is a direct result of your mindset. There's nothing that escapes it. It's not like these fundamental principles operate in some areas of your life and not in other areas. It's not like gravity works over there but not over here. Every result you're producing is a result of your mindset. Now, I'm not the first person who's talking about personal development, but I might be the first person who tells you that personal development is a failed model. And that's why entrepreneurs are addicted to strategies, right? Going to an event and jumping up for 3 days is not the way you change your limiting beliefs. You can't biohack your limiting beliefs. You don't drink black coffee with a pat of butter and hope that the limiting beliefs that were formed before the age of 7, before a time you can even remember, just suddenly vanish. But there is a new, highly effective, scientifically based way to permanently change the way you think. And that produces immediate results in your business, in your bank account, in your impact, and in your influence. And ultimately, what's holding back most entrepreneurs who already study personal development, maybe you've been reading the books, you've been going to the events, you've been doing the programs for 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, is that ultimately we think we understand mindset when we actually don't, right? There's a big difference between knowing mindset and being mindset. And we're going to dive deep into those differences in our time together. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on my story. I think it's important to know who you're talking to, so I'll share a little bit of it with you. I've been a successful entrepreneur for over 20 years. And let me define successful entrepreneur for you. It means I've had far more failures than successes, but I have launched a couple of multi-million-dollar businesses. I was an early pioneer in search engine optimization back in 2001, 2002. In the middle of that decade, I had raised $4 million from investors and venture capital companies and venture funds. And at that time, I had a meltdown. I remember calling my dad. I was 32, 33 at the time. And I told him, listen, I'm having a problem with my life. And my dad said, well, I'm not surprised you're having a midlife crisis. I mean, you are my son. I just thought it would happen sometime in your midlife. And like so many of us, and maybe one of the reasons why you're here, it's like I went through a struggle. And in that struggle, I found my breakthrough. And my first breakthrough was that I realized my life had become unmanageable. And so I started working a 12-step program. I had a problem with drugs. I had a problem with alcohol. I started working a 12-step program. That was the first time that I ever was open to the idea of a power greater than myself, that there was actually something in the universe that was driving the fundamental laws of the universe and that I wasn't really alone. And that piqued my curiosity. So from working a 12-step program, I got into studying the various spiritual traditions. I studied Christianity and Hinduism and Taoism and Buddhism. and really went deep into understanding what these teachings from 3,000, 4,000, even 5,000 years ago were talking about in terms of human potential. And I was fortunate that I was working with a therapist at the time around my addiction who specialized in the addicted brain. So I started getting really into neuroscience and neurobiology, and from there I became curious and dove into alternate expansive states of consciousness, and then peak performance and high performance and flow states. And that brought me kind of full circle back to metaphysics and universal laws, sort of the same conversation but in a different context than the spiritual traditions. And no matter how deep I dove, right, going mainstream, going off mainstream, looking for a way to get to the next level, I had hit the personal development ceiling. And I was stuck. I understood these concepts around how thoughts were things and my beliefs were important, and ultimately they were dictating my destiny. I knew I had these limiting beliefs around time and myself and money, all kinds of limiting beliefs, but I was stuck. I didn't know how to break through to the next level, and that became my personal pursuit. And ultimately, I figured out how to break through that ceiling, and that produced insane results in my business and my life. Both in terms of my state of being, my joy, my happiness, my curiosity, the intelligence that just flowed through me on a day-to-day basis, and the explosive growth in my business and in the impact that I was making and the income that I was generating. And it was several years ago that my wife now, she was my girlfriend at that time, said, you know, you've really discovered some things that are different. They're very next generational around personal growth. I think you should go out and share these things with other people. I said, no, that doesn't make any sense. Like, I'm a digital marketer. I'm an entrepreneur. I've been doing marketing and building, businesses for 20 years. I'm not a teacher. I'm not a coach. And she said, I really think you should go do that. And I think in all of our transitions, you can probably look back to a point in time in your life when you started doing whatever it is you're doing now, or even as you're starting to think about maybe starting a new business, where you got to borrow somebody else's beliefs in you until you build the belief yourself. And so I went and did that. I rented a little classroom in Rollins College, Florida, over here in Winter Park, Florida. And it was mostly friends and friends of friends. It was like 23 friends in the classroom, and I taught what I had understood at that point in time, which is a really early version of the methodology and the technology we teach today. And person after person after person came up to me after that little workshop and said, man, you got to go out and share this with the world because it changed my life. And some of those people have been doing personal development for a long, long time. And so this is a picture of our event a couple months ago. This isn't but 3-4 years later. This is the Powerful Living Experience Live, and it wasn't just 23 of my friends, it was 800 of my closest entrepreneurial friends who really wanted to understand, how can you get to the next level? How can you break through the personal development ceiling? How can we go from the motivation and inspiration of what personal development has been in its 1.0 iteration and really get to transformation? And that comes from understanding the science of brain change, and where the science of brain change converges with psychology and converges with spiritual tradition, and being able to put that into a step-by-step process to radically transform the way you think and radically transform your life. And I radically transformed this guy. So I am David Bayer, and my obsession over the last decade has been human performance and studying the evolution and origin of intelligence. I'm considered a leading expert on mindset and business by Inc. I'm the author of Mind Hack. We've had over 120,000 downloads of my book, and I created this event called the Powerful Living Experience. It was named as one of the top personal development events in the world for entrepreneurs by Success Magazine. And my organization helps entrepreneurs just like you and executives and organizations leverage emerging mindset technologies to radically transform your thoughts, your behaviors, and your actions so you can produce extraordinary results in your business and life. Now, as we get into this conversation, I just want to point out that there's a lot of white noise around mindset. So I really want you to experience this training with a child's eyes and ears, right? For a long time, this mindset stuff was a little bit woo. It was a little woo, it was a little new age, it was a little cliche. You'd have motivational speakers get up there and say, you can do it, just change your beliefs, you just have to believe in yourself. And it's like, yeah, I got it. But now we understand that what's happening is you've got these neural networks in your brain that have been habituated to being activated, and they're producing these thoughts. You can't just go do it, right? And so we end up hitting the personal development ceiling. And as a result of that, we become addicted to finding a strategic solution to solve our business problems, right? And I mentioned that earlier on in the training. It's like the market is happy to sell you magic pill strategies, Facebook, funnels, social media, content marketing, whatever it is. But the truth is, and I'm speaking from experience, and I'm now speaking from the experience of having coached hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of entrepreneurs to the next level of their business and their life, that the strategy you're looking for is mindset. That's the strategy. And so we're going to reconnect with that here. And I'm going to start by sharing with you the first secret, the first thing that I discovered along the way that really helped me radically change the way I approached mindset. And that is that every result Every single result you are or are not producing in your business and life is a direct result of your mindset. And if there's anything that you leave with today, I want it to be this. So you don't think that you're just down and out on your luck, or other people have all the resources, or certain people were destined for greatness and you're not, or that the challenges that you're experiencing in your business are somehow a result of your partners, or the strategy, or your lack of partners, or the bad strategy, or your employees. It's not. It's a result of your mindset. And what I found in my journey, and I spent 2-3 years doing this, is I was going round and round and round on the entrepreneur's carousel. And what I mean by that is I really wanted to go out and share my message. I really wanted to grow my business. I wanted to create predictability. I wanted a consistent source of leads. I wanted to do everything from coaching people to group coaching to digital programs to live events to speaking on stages. That's the type of business I wanted to grow. And you might want to grow that type of business. You might want to grow a different type of business. But as entrepreneurs, when we go out into the market to learn how to grow our businesses, you see an ad come through your news feed. You sign up for a webinar. You find yourself at a live event. And you get really excited for 3 or 4 days. And whoever the teacher is tells you the next greatest solution, the next slice of bread, the right greatest thing since sliced bread is whatever they're selling. And so it might be podcasts, it might be marketing automation, it might be learning how to tell your story. Now, I'm not saying these things aren't important, but you go home thinking that's the magic pill and the solution. And it's not nearly as exciting being at home as it was being at the event. And maybe you execute on what the teacher told you, maybe you don't. And even if you execute on it, it doesn't go the way you expected it to. And so what ends up happening is you go, well, maybe it's me or maybe it's the strategy, but then I got to go out, you go back out to another event and you look for the next solution. And so we go round and round and round. Whether you want to call it the entrepreneur's carousel, the magic pill strategy, I see 99% of entrepreneurs in the marketplace doing this. And the truth is that the thing that's going to get you to the next level is not the magic pill strategy, it's this thing called beliefs. Now I'm going to talk to beliefs in a way that might be slightly different than how you've ever heard anyone talk about beliefs. I'm going to teach you a concept called the 5 primary drivers. And this is a concept that's at the core of behavioral psychology. And what it basically says is that your beliefs dictate every result that you're producing in your business and in your life. Let's take a moment to talk about what beliefs are. Beliefs are early on when you were a child. You're trying to figure out life, and the beliefs you developed were the meanings you gave the experiences of your life. Let me give you an example of this. I remember vividly in first grade when my dad walked into the garage. I was working on a school project, and my dad, being as well-meaning as he was, said, "David, let me show you a better way to do that." Now, moment by moment by moment, as you're developing, you're recording every experience around you. We can actually see that you build new neural networks in your brain that store all the information, the sights, the sounds, the taste, the touch, right? And it also stores the meaning that you gave that experience. So the memory I created around that experience was that I didn't know how to do things right. And I carried that memory with me all the way into my 20s, my 30s. It literally became the lens through which I was experiencing the world. I would notice all the times that I wasn't doing something right. And oftentimes when I was doing something right, I wouldn't give myself credit for it. And so we developed these beliefs early on. You might have heard mom and dad arguing, had a conversation about money, and you decided money causes problems. Maybe you observed that your parents were constantly rushing you around a soccer game or basketball game or little league while trying to be super mom and super dad, and you observed from their experience that there just wasn't enough time. We developed these beliefs, and now at 30, 40, 50, 60 years old, that's the primary lens through which you're experiencing your day-to-day life. And so as you sit down to do the things that you already know you need to do to grow your business, it might be putting a presentation together, it might be outreaching to some potential partners, it might be working on your social media, it might be making sales calls, right? As you're about to make those sales calls, you'll start thinking to yourself, if you actually believe that you don't know how to do it right, I might not do this right. Right? Maybe I might be bothering this person. If I call this person, I might not have a very powerful enrollment conversation. Even if they do want to work with me, will they want to pay what I'm charging? Even if they want to pay what I'm charging, will I be able to deliver enough value? Will they be mad with me? Will I know how to do it right? Right? And so there's this constant thinking that's taking place moment by moment by moment. And so here you are sitting at your computer or ready to make enrollment calls, and you start to literally experience the rejection that has not happened yet. This is how crazy this is. No matter what you believe, you can only think in alignment with your beliefs. And every time you have these thoughts, you start to experience these thoughts as feelings or emotions. And then these feelings and emotions dictate what you do or do not do. So if you're already experiencing a rejection that has not happened yet because you think that you don't know how to do it right, do you think you're going to do the thing? Do you think you're going to make the phone call? Do you think you're going to work on the presentation? Do you think you're going to, do whatever's going to move your business forward? Of course you're not. And so what we end up doing, we all have these coping mechanisms. We end up doing something else. For me, it was like go to Starbucks for the third time in a day and have another cup of coffee I didn't need. And what the 5 primary drive says is your actions then dictate the results in your business and in your life. And your results are always in alignment with your actions. So, do you think I enrolled more clients in this type of situation? No, I had a more caffeinated Dave. And so then I'm not growing my business and I'm not doing the things that I know I should be doing. And so the way this whole system works is it just reinforces the core belief, see, I don't know how to do it right. And so whether it's not enough time, whether it's not enough money, whether it's you're not good enough, whether it's it doesn't work out for you, whatever it is, and you got lots and lots and lots of these limiting beliefs, these are the things that are holding you back. So if we want to create a change in the results that you're experiencing, we got to change your beliefs, because belief is so strong. The power of belief is extraordinary. I've written several articles on this. Your beliefs on a moment-by-moment basis dictate your thoughts and ideas. Like if you believe money's hard to make, you literally can't have thoughts and ideas. You don't have access to them to make money easily. If you believe you can't trust people, there's no way you're going to have thoughts and ideas to reach out to people to develop strong strategic partnerships. If you believe that people don't care about the message that you have to say, there's no way you're going to develop great messaging or become a phenomenal speaker. It doesn't matter what it is. Now, the other thing about belief is that it alters your perception of reality. You ever buy a new car and all of a sudden you see the car everywhere? Well, it's not that everybody just bought the car that you bought. It's that there's a part of the brain called the reticular activating system, and it's filtering out about 88% of your sensory experience. Only about 12% of what's going on around you gets inputted into your conscious awareness on a moment-by-moment basis. And so those things that you pay attention to are only those things that are in alignment with your beliefs. And so you become like a heat-seeking missile around these things. And so many of us have money stories or stories about ourselves or stories about time or stories about what's possible. And so we start paying attention to all that limitation, and that's what we get. Your beliefs drive all of your subconscious behavior. So believe it or not, if you believe that people aren't willing to pay for your services, you'll unconsciously choose to sit down next to someone at an event and get into an enrollment conversation with them, and they will say, I don't have the resources, I would love to work with you, but I can't afford what you charge. And so like I said, what's happening here is there's an operating system behind you. So if you believe that it never works out for you at an unconscious level, you'll actually choose strategies that never work out for anyone, or you'll choose the right strategy, but do it at the wrong time, or you'll choose the right strategy at the right time, but you won't execute on it properly because your brain is a goal-achieving machine. And then lastly, and this is a much larger conversation, your beliefs manufacture coincidences and synchronicities in your life. And I'm not going to go deep on this with you now. We do this in our high-level programs. We actually talk about the science behind all of this. But just from a practical standpoint, you think about somebody and they call. You've been thinking about somebody you run into at the grocery store, right? You have your worst fear, and your worst fear becomes realized. You need a resource badly, and the resource magically shows up. But the truth is that this power of belief is the primary force that is dictating the results in your business. And I want to show you how these patterns unfold for the entrepreneurs that we talk to. When we speak to an entrepreneur and through the conversation, we realize that they have this question like, would anyone care? Or they think that my messaging isn't that good, or that I sound like everyone else. We know that if we look at their messaging, it's going to be poor messaging, no market differentiation, and no brand identity. And so you can go to messaging consultant after messaging consultant after messaging consultant, but the linchpin are these beliefs you have around yourself, people hearing your message, and the quality of your messaging. When we meet entrepreneurs who are asking this question, what if I don't do it right? Or what am I doing wrong? We know that if we look into their business, what we're going to find is indecision, selecting bad strategies, or as I mentioned before, badly executing on good strategies. If we speak to an entrepreneur who's telling us that they believe there's not enough time or that they can't get it all done, we know what we're going to find is overwhelm, procrastination, and inconsistent and inefficient action. What's so amazing about this is that if I meet someone who's overwhelmed and procrastinating, I also know that they believe there's not enough time and that they can't get it all done. And here's the last example, like what if I run out of money? What if there's not enough money? We know that that's somebody who's not generating enough money, and they're likely not charging enough, and they're attracting clients with no money. So there's an extraordinary blueprint here. There's a connection between the results that you're producing and the results that you're not producing and what you believe. And ultimately, wherever you are in your business right now, maybe you're just starting a business, maybe you're at 50, 60,000, you're trying to break 6 figures, maybe you're at multiple 6 figures. No matter where you are, you've hit a plateau, which is why you're here. And there's a next level where you want to be. And there's a gap in between. But the mistake that we make is that we're looking for some magic pill strategy to close the gap. And the truth is that mindset is what closes the gap. And mindset, when we've got it dialed in, when we've identified the limiting beliefs that are holding us back, and we've learned the technology to radically transform them, which is a change in your brain, that'll actually dictate which strategies you choose and how well you execute on them. You see what I'm saying? So I'm not the first person to say this, right? The greatest thinkers of all time said something like this. Gandhi said a man is but a product of his thoughts, what he thinks he becomes. Henry Ford said, whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. And in the good book in Romans, and be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. All different ways of saying what I just shared with you. You cannot escape the 5 primary drivers. If you want to create a different result in your life, we've got to create a different belief, and that comes down to brain change. And another way of saying all this is the current state of your business, of your wealth, of your health, of your relationships in life is in absolute alignment and direct proportion to what you believe. That's it, period. End of story. But you may already know this, right? It's like we've hit the personal development ceiling. We've been trapped in personal development 1.0, and so therefore, we get back on the entrepreneur's carousel and we become addicted to magic pill strategies. And we meet people who are addicted, who are popping magic pill strategies all day long. This is Dr. Cynthia Bacara. Cynthia is amazing. She's actually been through all of our programs now. But when we first met her, she had these fundamental challenges, which we see with so many entrepreneurs, at some level feeling like she wasn't good enough, she wasn't doing enough, she didn't know how to do it right, nothing was working. These are all very powerful beliefs that will produce results that you do not want. And when we met Cynthia, she'd invested in over $25,000 in programs and strategies, and she said, I took every course, tried every strategy, and nothing seemed to work for me. And we said, yeah, we got it. We got it. But we also have the antidote for your problem. So Cynthia enrolled in the Mind Hack program, which is our signature program. She attended the Powerful Living Experience Live, which is the event that I showed you earlier. And she emailed us. Within 2 weeks, she enrolled 2 clients at $7,000, right? This was a woman who experienced a drought for 18 months leading up to that. And we said, what do you think was responsible for that? And she was very forthright. She said, I couldn't fix what I couldn't see. But it's so clear now that what I was believing about myself in the industry was preventing me from achieving the results I really wanted to achieve. And I recently just got a message from her. She did her first Speak to Sell. She's been crushing it. She's been doing VIP intensive. She's running her first group coaching program. Not because she found a new strategy. A lot of the strategies she's implemented are similar to the strategies she was trying before, but she's a different person implementing those same strategies. So I want to share with you secret number 2. Secret number 2 is the most powerful technology that you're not using in your business right now is your brain. It's not Facebook ads, it's not YouTube ads, it's not content marketing, it's not funnels, it's not marketing automation campaigns, it's this thing between your ears. And if you're here, there's a good chance you've experienced the broken promise of personal development. I mean, I went through this journey for over a decade, right? We've read the books, we've attended the events, we've jumped up and down, we've joined the programs, we've hired the coaches, and we understand this thing called mindset at a deeper level. But the truth is that you've hit the ceiling in your personal growth. And we know that because there's still a disturbance, there's an inner tension, there's a gap. In other words, you know that there's another level of joy and of inspiration, of creativity, of expression of power. Like, you know there's more to you, but all you keep getting as you go back into the personal development pool is more inspiration, more motivation, more change your beliefs, more become more self-aware, right? And I can tell you what mindset is not. Here's a long list of those things. It's not jumping up and down to change your emotional state. That'll work for a day, and then you go back home with the same brain. It's not positive thinking or positive psychology. You can't just affirm your way or incant your way into a better you. It's not about reframing or coming up with a better story than the story you've been habituated to telling yourself. And it's not spending a decade in therapy talking it out. I mean, if it hasn't worked in 3 years, don't you think you should try something else? It's not meditation or yoga. Both are great. I integrate both of those practices into my daily practice. But it doesn't change your brain, and you can't biohack your limiting beliefs, right? There's no nootropic, there's no special coffee that's gonna make not good enough go away. And so there's this fundamental question that we get to, right at the point that we're about to break through the personal development ceiling, which is why I'm so excited for you because you're here. And that is, how can I go beyond self-awareness and actually eliminate the limiting beliefs and psychological programs that are holding you back? And I recently wrote an article on this in Success Magazine, a 6-page article. And that article was really about what I'm calling Personal Development 2.0. And how do we go from motivation and inspiration to transformation? And the good news is science has finally caught up with that 3,000 years of wisdom teachings. And science has finally caught up with the motivation and inspiration that's been promoted since the 1950s, 1960s, 1970s. So it's fundamentally we're now understanding how the human being operating system works and how we can begin to actually rewire our own programming. And again, this isn't a new conversation. This is a conversation that's been going on a long time. The greatest thinkers in the history of the world, while they disagreed on a lot of things, agreed on one thing and one thing only. If you want to be great, you have to learn how to master your own thinking. And so I'm going to define mindset for you in this 2.0 version. And whether you're learning mindset from me or you're learning mindset from someone else, if it's not this, it's not mindset. It's more motivation and inspiration. This is a writer-downer. But mindset is the developed capacity to utilize the mind to rewire and restructure the brain. And I would suggest that it is the most important skill that you must develop as an entrepreneur and as a human being that is destined for greatness. And the beauty of this is that it's a developed capacity. It's a skill. You can learn mental technologies that allow you to take advantage of the fact that the brain is plastic, the brain is malleable, the brain is flexible, and you can use your mind to literally cut off the circuits that have been producing these habitual patterns of thought. You can actually use your mind to rewire and reorganize your own brain. And we have to do that if we want to get to the next level, because all those limiting beliefs are built into the neural networks of your brain. The formation of you is really extraordinary. When you're born, you come into the world with 100 billion neurons. These are these electrically excitable cells and about 25 billion synaptic connections. Those are the connections between these electrical cells. And by the time you're 7, you've still got about 100 billion neurons, but you've developed a quadrillion synaptic connections. That's 1,000 trillion connections between all those neurons. And what happened is moment by moment by moment, you were recording the experiences of your life, and they literally got wired into your brain. What you saw, what you heard, what you touched, and as we talked about earlier, the meanings that you gave the experiences of your life. And you might not have known any better, but the meanings that you gave the experience were never true, but they became the lens through which you started experiencing your life, and that's what's holding you back. But the beauty of this is that we can actually learn how to use our own mind to begin to deactivate some of those neural networks so that those habitual patterns of thinking no longer continue on their own. I don't know about you, but it was years ago I'd wake up in stress, anxiety, overwhelm, constantly thinking I wasn't good enough, constantly thinking I wasn't as far along as I should be, constantly feeling overwhelmed because I felt like there wasn't enough time. That's gone. It's gone because I've learned how to use my mind to deactivate those patterns of thoughts. And this isn't some sort of new age woo-woo. This is cutting edge brain science. There was a study done at Harvard in 2009, and they brought in piano players to play the piano, and they watched what parts of their brains lit up. Then they had the piano players just come back in and imagine playing the piano, and the identical parts of the brains lit up. Now, this was an extraordinary study because what we learned from the study was your brain doesn't know the difference between imagination and reality. And this is why every great thinker, every successful entrepreneur has talked about the importance of imagination and the power of vision. You have the capacity to actually build a memory in your brain of something that hasn't even happened yet. Now, if the thing had already happened, wouldn't you know how to do it? And so this is how we consciously change our brain. This is how we give ourselves access to new thoughts, new ideas, new perceptions, using the mind to consciously deactivate the neural networks that represent the patterns of thinking that are holding us back, and to build new neural networks that represent everything that we want to create. It's pretty amazing, isn't it? Because that thing between your ears isn't just a 3-pound hunk of weirdness, it's a goal-achieving machine. It will literally, at unconscious and conscious levels, direct you to producing the outcomes that you want to produce, but you got to program that thing properly. And this thing is being programmed off of our limiting beliefs. And so ultimately what I'm saying is your beliefs dictate your destiny, right? You cannot overcome the power of this technology between your ears. But the good news is that when you learn how to use your mind, you can actually program it in a way that's going to allow you to generate more income, to see more opportunities, to naturally flow towards the types of clients who want to engage with you, to have the ideas and the inspiration and the thoughts and the creativity to take your business to the next level, to be consistently living in energy and vitality and intelligence rather than draining so much and wasting so much of your energy on this blueprint of limiting beliefs. What I'm really trying to tell you is when you learn to use your brain, your mind, to change your brain, you can strategically eliminate the neural networks that are generating the thoughts that are keeping you stuck and to build new neural networks that allow you to tap into the next level. We have a lot of doctors who have evaluated our work and talked about it as the next generation of personal growth. We have a lot of doctors who are actually in our programs. This is Dr. Jay Greenstein, and when I met Dr. Jay, we were at a conference together, we were both speaking there, we were having a conversation. I was like, are you open to some feedback? Because I'm hearing some things. What I really heard in our conversation where he was talking about his business struggle was that he felt like he wasn't as far along as he should be. Now follow me, if your brain is a goal-achieving machine and you believe that you're not as far along as you should be, you're gonna having thoughts, ideas, perceiving your reality, creating synchronicities and coincidences and operating at an unconscious level to prove that out. And so Jay was stuck. He couldn't get to the next level, not because he wasn't a brilliant guy, not because his team wasn't a great team, not because they didn't have a good product, but because he believed that he was never as far along as he should be. So I knew we had to rip that thing out. So I said, Jay, listen, go through the Mind Hack program. Jay went through, also came to the Powerful Living Experience, and then he called me, and in 60 days, he told me that we had our best month ever across all 5 clinics. And I know that it was because of this work. In fact, he reached out to me afterwards. He goes, we have to start doing some clinical research around this because this is amazing. He said, I had this idea that I was doing something wrong or that I needed to work harder. None of that was even true. I just had to get out of my own way. Being a doctor, I need a high level of proof in anything I adopt. David is bringing the real science of transformation, and it's fast, powerful, and permanent. His methodology and programs have literally transformed my business and life. And Jay hasn't looked back. Now he knows the technology, he knows how to use it. So you're always gonna have a new limiting belief that pops up, especially every time you push up against the next level. Your brain is gonna go, we don't know what's there, here's all the problems. All of your limiting beliefs are gonna just come out of the woodworks for you. But if you understand the tech, you can deal with them when they come up. You can shut off those neural networks. And by the way, in noticing your limiting belief, you can become acutely aware of what you need to believe in order to move forward and build those new neural networks as well. So we're gonna move on to secret number 3 right now. Secret number 3 is knowing mindset is very, very different than having the right mindset. Now, this is not a criticism, but I have been able to speak all over North America over the last couple of years to thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of entrepreneurs. Every time I get off stage, I'm very grateful for this. People come up, they go, wow, that was an amazing talk. And this is exactly what I've been looking for. A lot of people come up to me and go, you know, I teach this stuff. And I'll go, oh, that's great. I'll shake my head. I appreciate it. Thank you very much for the compliment. And when I have the opportunity to invite people into the Mind Hack program, I say, hey, did you enroll in the program? And at every single event, I run into a very nice woman or a very nice man who's very kind to me. He goes, oh, no. I already got this stuff down. And I'll say, well, why are you at this event? They're like, well, I'm looking to grow my business. And I said, well, how's business? Are you generating the type of cash flow you want? Well, no, not exactly. I'd like to be generating more money. Well, do you have predictability in your business? Are you getting leads on a consistent basis? Well, no, not really. How do you get your leads? Through referral marketing. And sometimes I just kind of coincidentally meet somebody. I'm like, do you think your messaging is really differentiated? Well, I've really been working on that. What strategy are you pursuing? And I hear the whole gamut. And listen, I understand. I understand how addicted we've become to magic pill strategies, but there's a difference between knowing mindset and being mindset. And if your business is not where you want it to be, if you're not generating the type of income that you want to be generating, if you're not getting the exposure that you want, if you don't have predictable leads and you want predictability, it's a mindset issue. So let me give you a couple of clues here around whether or not you've got the right mindset. And there's, again, we're in a judgment-free zone, but if you spend a lot of time in stress and overwhelm, you lack the right mindset. because stress and overwhelm are simply an emotional expression of those limiting beliefs. If you believe that money and success are hard to have and you currently don't have much of either, it's a mindset issue. If you feel like you're not good enough, you're not doing enough, that's all mindset. If you compare yourself to other people and you wonder what you're doing wrong, you've not learned how to control your own mind because you're wasting your time and energy comparing yourself to other people. If you're afraid it might not work out for you or that you don't know how to do it, that's all mindset. If you worry that you're not ready or that nobody will care about what you have to say, mindset, mindset, mindset. So if you're experiencing any of these things, we need to talk about your emotional guidance system and how you can begin to recalibrate it. Because your problem is not the next strategy, your problem is an underlying mindset one. So I'm going to talk to you about this emotional guidance system that you've been given. There are two states to your emotional guidance system, and they map to the two states of your nervous system. The first is powerful states. We call these powerful states, states like hope, gratitude, joy, compassion, peace, calm, curiosity. States of emotion that feel good. States that mean you're in the rest and relax of your nervous system. It's called the parasympathetic nervous system. The other states of being are called primal states of being. These are states like stress, anxiety, overwhelm, disappointment, boredom, anger. These are produced by the primal brain. And this means that you've moved into fight or flight. Now, what's important here is that there are only two states and that you're always in one state or the other. And you're never in two states at the same time. So you're either in a powerful state or you're in a primal state. Why is that important? That's important because the creativity, the intuition, the inspiration, the resource, the vitality, the presence, the connection, the confidence, and the energy that you need to move to the next level in your business, that's found in a powerful state. If you're spending time in a primal state, you're actually spending time working against yourself because those primal states are being produced by the limiting beliefs and you're operating in sort of the fight or flight mechanism of an animal. And now, Western civilization is spending most of their time operating from a primal state. And this becomes a real challenge if you're trying to grow your business. And it's also miserable. So my question to you is, on an average day, if you added up all the time you spent stressed, anxious, overwhelmed, procrastinating, worrying about something, comparing yourself to other people, criticizing yourself, criticizing or judging other people, feeling like there's not enough time, feeling like you're not good enough, in some form of indecision, judging the way you look, second guessing what you did or said, thinking that someone else should or shouldn't have done or said something, in some form of financial security, or at any time entangled or engaged with that negative inner critic or voice in your head, my question is, how much time do you spend in a primal state? In an average day, how much time are you spending in stress, anxiety, overwhelm, indecision, comparing? And I get it might not be all the time, but it might be 5 minutes here, 20 minutes there, 45 minutes there. It might be constantly going on in the background. I ask this question on every stage I speak on, and I want you to have the number for yourself. Is it 2 hours a day? Is it 4 hours a day? Is it 8 hours a day? Is it half your waking hours? Is it all the time, like me, several years ago, that it was going on in the background? How much time do you spend in a primal state? Because I want to show you the math. At just 3 hours a day, that's a little more than 1,100 hours a year. And the two biggest things we hear from entrepreneurs is there's not enough time and there's not enough money. I can tell you where all your time is. It's being wasted on an unmanaged mind that is consistently active in a primal state of being. And that's a problem. This is the number one thing. If you were to ask me, what is the number one thing that I can do to take my business to the next level? I would say, notice when you're in a primal state and have the tools to move back into a powerful state of being. There's an unbelievable cost of mindset. I mean, if you're wasting just 3 hours a day on stress, anxiety, overwhelm, worry, self-criticism, and comparison, that's 1,095 hours a year. That's nuts. And that's the time. If you want to know where all the money is, if your time is worth just $100 an hour, and I would encourage you that your time is worth far more than $100 an hour. Now, you might have some limiting beliefs we have to fix to get you up to $300, $400, $500 an hour. But that's $109,500 of lost income every year. That's $1,095,000 lost over a decade. That is life-changing money that is being stolen by these primal states, by these limiting beliefs, by the fact that you've been stuck in personal development 1.0 of motivation and inspiration versus transformation. And it's not just the financial cost. It's about coming home from your workday and not being present for your loved ones or your pets who've been waiting all day to see you. It's about missing the magic moments that you never get back with your loved ones or your children. Because we're so addicted to the stress, the anxiety, the overwhelm, the not good enough, the not as far along as we should be, that is just habituated into the neural networks of our brain, like a disease. It's the physical suffering and the stress and the sickness that we produce in our own bodies and cut our lives short. It's the never achieving your destined full potential, which I don't know about you, but that was my greatest fear, which I'm no longer afraid of. It's the wasting of the one precious life we have for something that is solvable. And so the key to your next level is a really simple decision. Are you willing to get off the entrepreneur's carousel? And are you willing to develop the capacity to utilize your own mind to rewire and reorganize your brain so that you can eliminate the limiting beliefs that are moving you into a primal state and show up more powerfully in every area of your life? So we've mapped the evolution of your mindset. And this is what I've been really excited to share with you. In a moment, I'm going to share with you the 4 stages of this transformation. But if you're spending more than 6 hours a day in a primal state, stress, anxiety, overwhelm, indecision, comparing yourself to other people, it's what we call sleep. Again, it's no judgment. It just means that there's so much unconscious activity going on with your limiting beliefs that we need to develop a higher level of awareness. Now, if you're like a lot of entrepreneurs, you may have been doing personal development for a while. Maybe you've eliminated a couple of limiting beliefs, or you've whittled them down a little bit. You're spending a little less time in a primal state. And so you're spending 1 to 6 hours a day in a primal state. That's still devastating, but better. But as you learn how to use your mind to rewire and reorganize your brain, as you begin to implement these mental technologies, you start to spend less than an hour a day in any form of a primal state. And that's what we would call awake. And once you have become awakened, we then can teach you how to access really higher technologies, higher levels of intuition, intelligence, creativity, flow, high performance and conscious co-creation, and you become what we call a phenomenon. And when you become a phenomenon, everything flows, right? Your business grows, your wealth grows, your health improves, your relationships are extraordinary, because you're no longer dissipating all of that mental energy on primal states of being, the stress, the anxiety, the overwhelm. Instead, you're redirecting all of that into the life and the business that you want to create. So when you change your mind, you change your business and you change your life. And we teach business strategies. We have an amazing business curriculum, but I love these testimonials from people who've gone through both our business and our mindset training. This is Ed Jackson. He's a financial advisor. He says, I went from 0 to 3K a week. Truth be told, it happened the moment I changed my mind. Frances Young, she's in Young Living Essential Oils. I can't describe it in any other way than completely life-changing. I went from 1 sale every 3 months to 5 sales every single month. I'm not frustrated and stressed out, and I'm not missing any of those magic little moments. Dr. Nancy Yonker, another doctor who's in one of our programs. Hands down, David has the best strategies for growing your business, but the greatest gift he ever gave me was helping me change my mind. Here's Michelle Cooper. She's an accountant. We helped her go from $500,000 to $1 million and launch a 6-figure money coaching business in the same year with the same technologies I'm talking to you about. She says, I tripled my income in 6 months, but the most profound change is that my thought process is completely different than it was 6 months ago. And as a result, my whole life is on fire. And there's 4 phases to create this level of transformation. I'm going to go through them quickly with you. Stay with me until the end, because I'm just going to keep teaching you about this next generational technology of personal development 2.0. The first phase is called elimination. And in elimination, that's where you need to get absolute clarity on what you want in every area of your business and life. And that doesn't sound like elimination yet, but it's so powerful. Once you get clear on what you actually want to create in your relationships, in your finance, in your business, in your fun, in your spiritual growth, in every area of your life, that's going to trigger the resistance. So all of your resistance to that life that you want to create is going to come up. We need to identify all that resistance. Those are your limiting beliefs. All the resistance you have around your goals, your business, your finances, your vision, and the potential for your life. And then you need to learn the philosophy. You need to learn the tools. You need to learn the technology and begin to implement them. To begin the process of permanently eliminating the limiting beliefs that are preventing you from the next level of success, income, impact, and influence. So that's elimination. Then we move on to phase 2. Phase 2 is transformation. Once you've begun to deactivate the neural networks and the habitual patterns of thinking that are your limiting beliefs and are the only thing holding you back from the next level, now we need to create something new. Now we've got the space to do that. It's like a blank canvas. And so the next step is for you to design a psychological blueprint that is congruent with the outcomes you want to produce in your business and in your life. You're going to implement specific processes and practices to build and strengthen new habitual patterns of thinking that are aligned with your goals. And ultimately what that does is it builds new neural pathways that give you access to higher levels of creativity, ideas, intuition, inspiration, resources, and intelligence. And then phase 3, which is deepening. You have to reinforce these new empowering beliefs through daily practice and specific scientifically based super rituals. Now, this transformation can happen really, really quick, but you have to constantly be reinforcing it. I mean, you've been thinking the same way for 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 years. It doesn't happen overnight, but it can happen quickly as long as you have the capacity to deepen. Then it's important to surround yourself, to create accountability and connect, and be in partnership with other entrepreneurs who are immersed in this type of work, who can see you when you start to get off track and out of kilter and go, I don't know, man, that might be a limiting belief. I'm not sure that's true. And to support you in actually transforming whatever it is that's coming up that's holding you back. Because like I said, it's going to happen level after level after level. And that's why you need support. You need to get support like anything that you want to master. Support and coaching when you run into roadblocks or get stuck. And this 3-step process from elimination to transformation to deepening is exactly the foundation that drove the creation of the Mind Hack program. And I want to tell you about the Mind Hack program and what I put together for you today. It's an amazing program. Over 1,500 entrepreneurs have gone through this program and radically changed their business and their life. Today I'm including a bunch of really kick-ass bonuses that are going to help you sustain this momentum and not only help you on the mindset side, but also help you on the strategy side of growing your business. The Mind Hack program is designed as a 7-day program. You're going to have access to the program, lifetime access. You don't have to do all 7 days consecutively. A lot of people make it their daily ritual and just crush through all 7 days. If you're like me, I like to binge consume the curriculums that I go through. But if you can't get it done in 7 days, you can go through it at your convenience over the course of 30 days, 60 days. What's really important is that you go through the curriculum and you learn this technology and you start living into it through your day-to-day practice. Now, in the Mind Hack program, we cover phase 1 and phase 2 that I just talked to you about. Elimination, eliminating all of your limiting beliefs, and transformation, rebuilding that new beliefs blueprint and rebuilding those new neural networks. Now, in the program, it's broken into 7 core modules. The first module is called Identifying Your Core Conflicts. That's the elimination phase. We're going to take a look at all of the limiting beliefs you have, help you map out what it is you actually want to create, look at your resistance to all of that, and then move you through actually eliminating that resistance. We're going to take you through our mind hacking process, the real science of brain change, and a technology we teach called the power of decision. This is the singular most powerful distinction that I've ever implemented into my life and into my business that I would attribute most of my success to. In the third training, we're going to take you through the power of energy and the science of gratitude. There's a tendency because of the primal brain to focus on problems, and that's great, right? But I don't think you need to become a better problem solver. I think you need to start learning how to train your brain to focus on opportunities, and we do that through understanding the science of gratitude and very specific practices we put around it that we call the success system. In the fourth day, we're going to talk about how you enroll the brain through the power of clarity. Clarity is so important. So many people aren't clear on where they're going. They're not clear on how they're going to get there. And if we can help you establish more clarity, that's 90% of the game. And so we're going to talk to you about the technology of clarity and the science of how establishing more clarity actually deepens the neural networks of your brain and allows you greater access to thoughts, ideas, and a perception that is going to help you create the outcomes you're looking for. In the fourth day, we're going to talk about fifth day, we're going to talk about the power of questions. So your brain is a goal-achieving machine and it operates like a search engine. And so there's an art and a science to learning how to solve the problems that you're facing by learning how to ask great questions. We're going to talk to you and teach you about that. In the sixth day, we're going to take a look at fear, procrastination, self-sabotage, and help you eliminate that forever. We talk about the 4 misconceptions of fear, how we misunderstand, how the primal brain is designed to move you into fear anytime you move into uncertainty. But the truth is that everything you want to create at the next level is uncertain. You've never done it before. So we're going to show you how to deactivate that mechanism so that you can move forward consistently and powerfully. And last but not least, we're going to teach you the Mind Hack Daily Super Ritual. So this is my process, my ritual that I've designed over the last 10 years, scientifically based. It also extracts some things that I've learned in my spiritual journey. And it's a 15 to 20 minute super ritual to continue to deactivate those parts of your brain that represent your limiting beliefs and continue to activate and reinforce those new empowered decisions. We're going to give you a whole set of technologies and a toolkit that includes something we've developed called neurosculpting. I'm going to teach you a couple of the meditations that I've used that I've found to be the best meditations over the last decade, and a handful of other processes, journaling processes, exercises that you can go through as you continue to tease out that which does not serve you, and not just become aware of these limiting beliefs, but permanently and radically transform them. You can do this program at your own pace, right? You have lifetime access to it. It's a $34.97 value, $3,497. That's obviously not what we're charging today, but that is the value of the program. Now, I want to talk to you about a couple of the bonuses that we've also included. So we talked about phase 3 deepening to continue to reinforce these new empowered beliefs that you've developed and to continue to do the work to deactivate and prune out those old limiting beliefs in the neural networks that represent them. And that's what the 8-week deepening program is for. So it's pre-recorded, there's weekly trainings, you get a new one every week, new exercises, new tools, 6 additional technologies, including the dump and the emotional pyramid. So there was a period of time in my life, probably 4 or 5 years ago, where literally I woke up in anxiety every single day. I woke up, anxiety was sitting on my chest, overwhelmed, stress, feeling like I wasn't sure what I needed to do throughout the course of the week and not feeling good about myself. And every morning for 6 months, I worked the dump process. And 6 months later, I was a radically transformed person. And as a result of that, I was attracting the types of clients I wanted to attract. I intuitively understood which strategies I needed to implement, and I was executing on them properly. What's also included in the 8-week deepening program is live coaching and interventions for my live events. So you'll see how we take the concepts that I'm teaching you and that you're going through with the exercises and the tools, and how they're actually implemented with a real life person. You have lifetime access to the MindHack private group. Now that's our group of 1,500 entrepreneurs, amazing human beings who are immersed in this work. It's an incredible resource and support community. A lot of people are doing business within the community. A lot of people are supporting people in the community. And this is also where you're gonna get live interaction with me and my team. So if you're running into a challenge and you need some support, you need some help, whatever that might be, this is where we're gonna be able to give you that support and that help. And this is where I also do exclusive trainings and live streams. So really amazing private community. You have access to that as an additional bonus today. Normally a $2,500 value for the 8-week deepening program and access to our private group. My gift to you. Now we talked about this 4th phase, right? There are 4 phases of this. The first one is elimination. The second is transformation. The third is deepening. The 4th is immersion. So I want to invite you to come join me at the Powerful Living Experience Live. That is the 3-day transformational event that Inc. said was a top 3 must-attend personal development event for entrepreneurs. Success Magazine named it one of the best personal development events in the world. I'm gonna give you 2 complimentary tickets, 2 $9.97 general admission tickets. Come and join me for 3 days of transformation. You deserve to give yourself that gift. They're 3 of the most important days that you could possibly invest in yourself, in your business, in your family, and in your future. And the reason why I'm giving you 2 is because there's someone who's close to you in your life that you should bring too. Maybe it's a key employee, maybe it's a business partner, maybe it's a life partner, maybe it's somebody else in your family, but I want you to bring them to come experience that level of transformation as well, because there's nothing like being able to spend 3 full days together to really take you, your mindset, and your business to the next level. Those are 2 tickets, as I mentioned, $9.97 value each. My gift to you, $19.94 in value, almost $2,000 in value. And I also want to help you permanently resolve what we call the big 2 killers. Not enough time and not enough money. These are killers. And so what I want to give you as a free gift today, as you join the MindHack program, is the Time Mastery Bonus. In the Time Mastery Bonus, I'm going to talk about the nature of time. I'm going to talk about the misunderstandings we have about time. I'm going to talk about the patterns of limiting beliefs that cause us to feel like we don't have enough time and move us into overwhelm. And I'm going to talk about how the real key to getting everything done is not actually time, it's timing. So in this module, this mini program, I'm going to show you how to permanently eliminate the stress and overwhelm of not enough time. I'm going to show you how I've helped hundreds of other entrepreneurs add 10 plus hours each week to their business and life. And I'm going to show you how to know exactly what to be working on and when, so you no longer waste any time in indecision. And now that we've opened up your time, we've opened up the doorway to start creating more money. And now we have to eliminate the limiting beliefs around money. So I'm going to help you understand how money works, what money blocks, and how to unlock it in your life. I'm going to show you how your money beliefs are attracting clients with no money. That's you. That's not the experience, right? And in order for you to produce a different result, we've got to change your beliefs around money. I'm also going to teach you what I teach at my high-level program, the Stack. It's the simple process I discovered that is the singular cause of my explosive wealth in the last 3 years. This is exclusive, the Time and Money Mastery bonuses. They're each $497 programs that we've sold before. My gift to you in tandem, $994 value. So today that's the Mind Hack Core program. Phase 1, Phase 2, eliminating all of your beliefs, creating your new blueprint, all the tools, the technologies, and the rituals to do that. That's a $34.97 value. The 8-week deepening program with the additional tools and rituals to continue to deepen the work, $1,500 value. 2 tickets to the Powerful Living Experience, $19.94. Access to the Mind Hack community, $1,000 value. The Time and Money Mastery programs, $994. That's a total value of $8,988. Clearly, that is not what the investment is today. But I want to ask you a question. If we could just help you identify the limiting beliefs that are holding you back and help finally eliminate them so you can make more money, have more impact, and tap into higher levels of resource, creativity, inspiration, and intelligence, wouldn't that be worth an $8,988 investment? Absolutely. I'm not asking if that's what you'd be willing to invest, but it would be worth it, wouldn't it? I mean, if we could help you eliminate 200, 300, 400 hours a year of procrastination, stress, and self-sabotage so you're more present, powerful, and productive in your business and life and with the people you love, wouldn't that be worth a one-time investment of $8,988? Of course it would. And if we could help you escape the not enough time and the not enough money traps so that you could create even more money with ease and flow and time freedom for the rest of your life, wouldn't that be worth $8,988 of a one-time investment? Yeah, you'd be crazy to pass that up. And that's the awesome thing about mindset, because with your mindset, you make one small investment one time and you get a return over and over and over again in every area of your business and life. And today, I put together, with the Mind Hack program and the bonuses, almost $9,000 in value. And I want to give you one more kick-ass bonus, because we know that success does require the strategies, right? It's a mindset and strategies. We've got the mindset covered for you. The Mind Hack program, the deepening program, the tickets to the Powerful Living Experience, access to the group, the Time and Money Mastery programs. But on the strategic side, in our higher level programs, we get the same questions. How do I create predictability in my business, Dave? How do I differentiate myself from everyone else? How can I generate more leads? Do I generate them offline or do I generate them online? How do I scale from one-on-one to one-to-many, whether it's group coaching or intensives or retreats? How do I establish my pricing? When do I increase my prices? How do I make my group programs evergreen? When should I launch my digital program? How do I fill live events and intensives and retreats? Well, we happen to know a thing or two about all of these things since we've accomplished all these things and become one of the fastest growing brands in our space with all these things. So today, I want to give you an amazing training called the Business Hack 3-Hour Masterclass. It's a 3-hour training that I did for people who invested anywhere from $2,000 to $150,000 to be in that room. And I took them step by step through the process that we developed after having made a lot of mistakes and invested hundreds of thousands of dollars and spent years of our time to figure out how to build a successful business. It's called the Business Hack Masterclass. It's my gift to you, 3-hour training. It goes through everything from messaging to your ideal client, to differentiating yourself in the marketplace, to when do you go offline, at what point do you transition online, how do you scale your business, which types of strategies should you implement to grow your business, which ones work, which ones don't, how to implement them properly. It's a $34.97 value, and it's my gift to you today if you choose to enroll in the Mind Hack program. So again, that's the Mind Hack online program, the 8-week deepening program, the 2 tickets to the Powerful Living Experience Live, access to the Mind Hack community, the Time and Money Mastery programs, the Business Hack Masterclass training. It's $12,482 in value. And of course, that's not what the investment is. It's Mind Hack plus the live event plus the bonuses. And today only, over $12,482 in value. It's not a $3,500 investment to access all that goodness. It's not a $1997 investment. It's not even a $997 investment. You get access to everything. The Mind Hack program, the deepening program, access to the private community, the time mastery, the money mastery, the 2 tickets to the Powerful Living Experience Live, the Business Hack Masterclass, all of the bonuses for a single payment of $497. All you have to do is click on the button to enroll. If you're on mobile, you might have to pop out of the webinar in order to see the button, but all you have to do is click on the button to enroll and make a single payment of $497. Mind Hack starts today. As soon as you make your payment, you get immediate access to the MindHack program. You get immediate access to all the bonuses. You get immediate access to the link to redeem your tickets. You're actually going to get an immediate phone call. You'll get a phone call in the next couple of days from one of my team members to onboard you, to make sure you have access to the private group, see if you have any questions, make sure you've got access to the workbook, all the tools, all the technologies, all the rituals, all the audio files, everything that's included in the MindHack program and all the bonuses is just one click and one single investment of $497 away. A lot of people say, well, is MindHack, the Powerful Living Experience, all the right bonuses, are they right for me? I mean, listen, you can answer that question for yourself. If you hear, the answer is probably yes. If you're experiencing more stress, anxiety, and overwhelm than you want in your business and in your life, absolutely. Why would you put it off another day? Why would you put it off another week? Why would you put it off another month? Don't make it where I see you a year from now and you go, hey, I went through that training, Dave. And I said, well, how's business? And you go, well, it's not where I want it to be. And I said, did you enroll in the MindHack program? And we have that uncomfortable look at each other, right? If you're having challenges getting to the next level of income or getting your message out there or creating predictability in your business, I'm telling you it's not a strategic issue. I'll teach you the strategy in the Business Hack Masterclass bonus, but we got to get your mindset right first. Let me ask you a question. If not MindHack, what? Going back to an event and jumping up for another 3 days and coming back home with the same old brain, right? Trudging through and pushing through that stress, that anxiety, and that inner critic for another couple of months, another couple of years, wondering if you're actually achieving your full potential. If not now, when? Why would you want to put it off for a single, simple investment of $497? I've tried to put together everything I can for you to get you in a place where in the next 90 days you will have an unshakable mindset and you will never look back. And what's more, I'm giving you access to the best, the strategic trainings that we teach, that we've used to take our business from $0 to $5 million in less than 2 years and helping hundreds of other entrepreneurs do the same thing. And it's all available to you with one click. One decision, one new idea, one new thought, one new opportunity. You're one click away from a new business and a new life. And I am so committed to your success that if for any reason you feel like this program does not deliver 100% for you, we'll offer you within 30 days a refund. All you have to do is submit to me the work that you did. Show me that you did the work. It's what I call my integrity guarantee. Do the work, and if you don't think that between the core program, the MindHack program, and all of these other bonuses, that you're not getting 10 times the value of the $497 investment, happy to give you your money back. That's how committed I am to your success. It's how committed I am to your growth, because ultimately you and I both know that there's something extraordinary inside of you that you are putting into the vehicle of your business, and we need to work together to get it out there. And the next level of getting it out there is not through some magic pill strategy, but it's through you changing you. And the way you do that is through the new science of transformation, Personal Development 2.0, which is the MindHack program. I'm so grateful for you. I'm so excited for the transformation that's waiting for you on the other side. I'm so excited at the opportunity for you to create that level of transformation for a one-time $497 investment. And I honor you. I acknowledge you for being on this journey, for being here. Not a lot of people get to this place where you and I are having this conversation. A lot of people have the opportunity to get here. You're at the 1 yard line. All you have to do is cross into the end zone and experience the transformation of a new you. That's a click on the button, a simple investment, and I'll see you on the other side.